Today on Studio 18, presented by Old Venice Pizza Company, Athletics Director Ross Bjork sits down with Senior Associate Athletics Director Michael Thompson to discuss the 2015 football home opener, Monday's headlines, construction updates on campus, game day guidelines for this season, and student section conduct. We will also be taking your questions, so email them at studio18@olemiss.edu or tweet us using hashtag Studio18. Now here is Senior Associate Athletics Director Michael Thompson and Ole Miss Athletics Director Ross Bjork.
Good afternoon and welcome to Studio 18, presented by Old Venice Pizza Company. This season we'll be airing the show on the Wednesdays before every home football game, and we'll have Ross as our guest. So if you've got questions for Ross, you can submit those in two different ways. One, using Twitter, using the hashtag AskRoss, or the easiest way is to go to OleMissSports.com and click the Ask Ross button at the very top of the page. So Ross, welcome back to Studio 18.
Great
it's been a while.
to be back in a new setting.
Totally new setting. We like to
will.
change it up here.
Absolutely.
Tell us a little bit about where we are.
Well, we're in our South End Zone Club. We're up here on the third floor of this complex here on the South End Zone, obviously built in 2002 and been added onto this year. So we've got new suites, we've got a club area, but we've also got restrooms and concessions for all of our patrons on the concourse level. So it's a cool setting, and I love what we did last year when we put the home of the Ole Miss Rebels.
Yeah.
And I know we see that there on the west side press box. So great to be back, 2015-16. Here we go.
And it's a totally new, really. I mean, the west side press box looks different on the exterior, and it's very different on the interior.
It really does. We're going to talk about facilities, but
Yeah.
that in particular, it really the window system that we added, gets rid of those old black framed windows that one you really couldn't see out of, but also exteriorly was a bad look,
Yeah.
for our stadium. So that actually ties in the rest of the stadium just a little bit more consistently by having those new windows. So
Yeah, it looks
exciting.
sharp. So we've got a big show today. We've been off for a long time, so there are plenty of topics that we're going to cover today.
A lot of things have happened.
A lot of things have happened, and last week we put out a state of the program video that we had you talking about where Ole Miss Athletics is as a department, and there was a lot of stuff about the university in there. Give us, I guess, the high points of that for the show if you hadn't seen it.
As we talk about all the time, Michael, we can never communicate enough.
Yeah.
And really being transparent about what we do, why we do certain things, how we do it, is really our goal. So that's the fourth video that we've done. We've done it just about every August is our time frame. Last year we did a walk around of facilities with David Kellum as sort of the way to kick off the academic year. This year we did it in our FedEx Student Athlete Support Center, which is really the hub of why we're here, to educate and teach, our young people. And, the highlights, there's a lot of things in there. Obviously construction is a big part of what we're doing right now. So the pavilion at Ole Miss is on track for a January 2016 opening. Vaught-Hemingway Stadium, the things we're doing now for this year, but also next year, the North End Zone, 3 new video boards, and all the other elements that will come with. And then we're also, somebody tweeted a great graphic, we're putting video boards just about in everything. And you get a video board, you get a video board, everybody gets a video board. So we talked about that in the video, but we also talked about the growth. We can look people in the eye and we can say, never before has there been more people invested in the university, not just athletics, but the university than ever before, whether that's applications, whether that's students, whether that's alumni membership, whether that's university fundraising, and then of course in athletics, ticket sales, athletic giving, social media interaction. We've got Randy Kennedy out there buzzing around with new videos. There's more people engaged than ever before, but the thing that we're most proud of is academically we performed better than we've ever have, and we have to continue that momentum. And I think the thing about that video too that people need to understand is we're not done. The momentum is here. Well, let's continue to ride the wave and not be satisfied with where we are. So the momentum has to continue, and we've got to keep our foot on the gas pedal, and we will.
Yeah, I mean, this is a slightly off script here, but I mean, when you first got here, you talked a lot about ceiling, and you talked that I don't know where it is.
Where it is.
And we still, after rising for how many seasons, we still haven't found it. It doesn't even really seem like we're that close to it. So the future's incredibly bright.
I don't think we've touched it. I'm wearing a ring from the Peach Bowl, and that was great to play in one of the first ever, college football playoff system, a New Year's Six bowl game, and so we're proud of this season and this ring, but there's more. right? There's the college football playoff, there's the championship game, there's an SEC championship. There's all those things that are out there, and so you're right, we're excited and we feel good, but we do know that there's more to come.
Not satisfied, that's right. So volleyball and soccer have already started their seasons. Tell us a little bit about where they are.
Well, soccer, knock on wood, we've only given up one goal, in 5 matches. Coach Mott told me this summer and as they started their fall training camp that, hey, we're faster, we're more athletic, we have more depth, we've got young people that I think will step up. Our goalkeeper, Marnie Merritt, is really good. And so far, all those things have played out. We can see our speed. We've only given up that one goal on a penalty kick. And so defensively, we're a lot better. So there's a lot of excitement. We have a big match against Central Florida on Friday. They're a tough team. They beat us last year at their place 4-0. So there's probably a little revenge for our young ladies. So soccer's off to a really good start. And then volleyball, we had a bump in the road last night against Tennessee Martin, lost a match in 5 sets. But, Stephen McRoberts, talking about a cultural shift of the athletic program, that's a microcosm of one program that we've changed the culture. We've changed the dynamics, we've changed the recruiting, we've changed the confidence level. We're going to change our venue. The Gillum Center will be upgraded, and he's just doing a tremendous job. And the home matches, to me, there's probably not a better sport to be entertained than volleyball because of the pace, the athleticism. And you have some power, right? You have the hitting that goes on too. So there's a lot of excitement in our Gillum Center, and we're not even into softball yet. And they won 30 games last year, second time we've ever done that. So the Gillum Center is really a hub of a lot of great cultural changes in our athletic program. Yeah,
that watching volleyball there is so unique because of how close you are. It's such an intimate environment. I mean, volleyballs are going to come into your general vicinity. I mean,
talk about being part of the game.
You're in
the fans are.
It's a neat place.
Part of the game, right?
So later today, we will pick up the tradition that we started last year with a 3 things video. We're going to put out a video every single week before a game that has the 3 things you need to know about game day. And so that's going to come out later today. But kind of give us a sneak peek of what some of those are. I know the first one is the new tailgating policies.
Right. One of the first things, let me take a step back, one of the first things that really impressed me about Ole Miss before I got here was in 2011 when you released, the 100 things in 100 days. Hey, here's 100 things we're going to do to improve the game day experience. That really impressed me that, hey, they've got their act together at Ole Miss, and I could come in and help with that. And so every year, right, we've done a survey, we've taken feedback, and now we're up to about 60 things I think that we're improving this year. And the tailgating part of it, we're getting a lot of questions about why and how certain things came together. It's a university-wide decision. The Grove is really owned by everybody, right? It's a public asset, if you will. It's a University of Mississippi asset. And so this is a university-wide decision to say, you know what, we've had more crowds than ever before, right? The last 3 years. It's more crowded than ever before. There's sort of been a ownership mentality, not by everybody, but by certain subsets that we had to say, what's the right thing to do? The right thing to do is make it a great experience and make it the best. And so we did. We took a step back, working with our partners on campus in all different facets, saying, okay, how do we set out trash cans? Trash cans were being moved around, right, on Thursday and Friday because people were staking claim to their spots. So how do we, fix that situation? How do we make it better where we don't have the angst between, hey, that's my spot, no, that's my spot, and people are battling
bullying
over, a few feet. And so how do we take all those things into consideration and come up with the best solution? And the thing about, closing down the Grove at 6:30, we did that last year several times because we had the pregame shows, College Game Day and the SEC Nation. And we thought, that's the best practice. Let's implement that. That's the best practice. The other thing is no one has to sit in a spot for 2 days.
That's right.
So one, it saves somebody a lot of time. And perhaps a lot of money because they may be paying that person to hold their spot. And then the other thing is at 7:30 on that Friday night, the infrastructure that takes place with the setup companies, the tent companies, they're already going to have their stuff inside the Grove. And so eliminating running with a tent or running with a chair, that's dangerous.
Yes.
And so the safety part of it came into play. So, we're going to try it out this Friday, and we're going to monitor how it works and make sure we continue to educate everyone, from the tent companies to the vendors who bring food in, to our patrons who have spaces in the Grove, that the Circle. The Circle is a part of this as well. And so I think it'll be a really good system, and I think it's the right thing to do on many fronts.
Yeah, something I've had to remind myself of a lot, because I went to school here and have been in the Grove for years and years and years, not nearly as much since I started working as maybe when I was a student or grad. But tailgating here and the Grove and the Circle is one of the most, it's arguably the greatest tailgating venue in the world of any sport. I mean, ESPN talks about it, Sporting News talks about it, everybody, the experts say it is the most unique atmosphere in all of sports for tailgating. And it's easy for myself sometimes and other people to sometimes take it for granted and really want a particular space or not be moved 10 feet or 4 feet. But the more and more I think about it, just being in the Grove, anywhere in the Grove, there's not a bad spot.
There's not a bad spot.
Not in the whole area.
That's right.
Being in there on a Saturday and being able to experience that where no other school can have that. Like we have that. If you're in there, and I don't think there's ever been a game where you walked the tent in on Saturday morning before a game and couldn't find a 10 by 10 space to put your tent down, and you're in the Grove, the greatest tailgating venue in the whole world. So I do think it's kind of a resetting of people's expectations, and we hope that everyone gets the same spot they had last year. That's tradition. We love the traditions of families, and that's the plan.
Absolutely.
But taking some, I guess, the angst out of it will help a lot. So the second of the three things is construction. And this is, we've had Studio 18 probably for 2 years now, and we talk about construction almost every episode.
Every time.
So there's a lot of catching up to do from our last episode, and give us a little bit of update on that.
Really, I guess since early 2013, our athletic department has been under construction in some way, shape, or form. Starting with the Manning Center, and then obviously, going into major, facilities. So there's a lot happening. I'm not sure we have enough time for our viewers to sit through everything, but we have $175 million worth of projects that have either been completed, under construction, or will get ready to be started maybe here in the next couple months, like our track facility. We'll start in October. And then as soon as the LSU game is over, as soon as that clock hits 0, we'll knock out those north end zone bleachers and
we'll get the people out first.
We'll get the people out first.
Then we'll knock it down.
But I think there'll be people staying around to watch that. But so there's a lot happening. With football, the pavilion on track, on schedule. January 7th, 2016, opening night. Really an opening weekend, if you will, to celebrate that building. We'll have a game on Saturday for the men, and then on Sunday we'll have a game for the women to open the building for women's basketball. And then a lot of activities in the spring to sort of celebrate that building, concerts and different things like that I know we're all working on, and then graduation in the middle of May. So facility-wise, there's so much. And then this week, we announced that we'll take our game field, back to natural grass, and we're redoing our practice fields. We'll take a turf field and add that to our practice field complex, but then take Hollingsworth Field, Vaught Hemingway Stadium back to natural turf. And so that's a little thing, but that's probably gained the most attention this week. I know. Of anything. And even though we just announced we'll have the largest center hung video board in college basketball, people are talking about the turf.
They love the natural grass.
So all these things are happening. Our campaign is making progress. We're at the $140 million mark, but we're not done fundraising. We're not going to quit, right? Just same thing we talked about in the opening. We have to keep that foot on the gas pedal fundraising wise. And so that's all propelling our facility campaign in these projects. And then, we'll look at the Gillum Center starting in 2016, construction, and then FedEx and Starnes. Most likely, the earliest we could start that would be late 2016 or early 2017, because we need the Gillum Center to be open before we can get rid of the weight room and the training room in the Starnes building and move that to the Gillum Center. So a lot of ripple effect, and we'll make sure that we keep everyone up to speed through this show or other means about what's happening.
Definitely. Yeah, I mean, you already rattled off several changes for improvements for 2016. And we have a long list for 2015, and that's kind of the third thing in the three things video. But I mean, we're already building this list for next year. I mean, it's pretty unbelievable what will be on it next year. But talk about some of these.
It's nonstop. So we do have a list, and there's about 60 on here that we counted up. You know, some of the things that I pointed out that I think are unique is no one will see our TV trucks anymore.
That's right.
You know, they used to park on that west side parking lot right in the middle. We have a whole compound that's tied into the parking garage, which is open, by the way. The garage is open, by the way. We have a whole compound, and the trucks pull down the loading dock ramp, and they plug in, and they're connected. And so that's a big improvement. You know, the mobile-friendly oldmissfb.com for on game day. People can click onto that if they have questions. I think that's really cool. You know, we have an emergency operations center. You know, we've been really behind the times in terms of a command center for our police, our security, our fire department, our highway patrol, to know what's happening, you know, one, around streets and roads, but also inside the stadium to keep everyone safe. That will open hopefully by the second game. That's under construction right now. We've added some new shuttles and out parking lots, right, at FNC Park and Northwest Community College. Those things will help. The garage I mentioned is open. You know, a neat way to get students involved in our ROTC program is they're going to be out in our parking lots, helping people find their space, giving directions, maybe solving problems as they come up. So ROTC will be involved. I think that's a neat game day improvement. Cool down stations. It's going to be hot Saturday.
Yes, very hot.
It's going to be hot for the Fresno game at a 2:30 game. We've added cool down stations, 4 new cool down stations to help people that may not want to go to the concession stand, but help them, get through the game. A cool thing is the pigmento.
Yeah.
I mean, pimento cheese. I mean, who doesn't like
bacon?
pimento cheese and
Who doesn't
bacon?
like bacon?
That's a cool
But
thing. But also,
tasted on there.
we've got some new concession stands.
That's right.
You know, as part of this structure, right? 3 new concession stands, new restrooms as well on the main concourse level. That will really help alleviate a lot of congestion around the stadium. Ribbon board in the south end zone. Again, technology, improving the fan experience. We've got a DJ. I'm not sure who's the DJ. I don't know what that person's name is.
He's legit.
But we've got a turntable or whatever you call it. Is that what it's called? Turntable?
Yep.
Guys, help me. A full setup of a DJ, again, get people involved in the game. Referee mic. Referee sound system.
Yep.
A new sound system for the entire stadium will be in 2016, but a new referee wireless microphone system. And then, you know, we really can't thank our friends at C Spire enough for what they've done to install a Wi-Fi system at their expense, both in Vaught Hemingway Stadium, but also it's being installed in the pavilion as we speak. I mean, Mina and his team, I mean, that whole group has been phenomenal to upgrade and really fine-tune the Wi-Fi system that was put in last year, but this year it'll be better. So that's just some examples that I think will help our fans just have a better experience.
And it started too, the last one started with the ticket books that everyone got, and these have been a huge
you know, it's really, I think that cover is really a keepsake.
Yeah.
You know, in terms of remembering, you know, the 100 years of football in this stadium, but our 121st season, the leather helmet. I don't think we'll break out the leather helmets. We'll break out some
maybe
other
something
helmets,
that color, which we'll get to in a little while.
But it's really just a cool way to, again, make the presentation,
Yeah.
you know, first class in all aspects.
Yeah, the experience starts now, really, for a lot of people. I mean, and this is a big part.
It's like Christmas, right?
It
You
is.
get your tickets, you get your parking passes.
That's right.
People are fired up about it.
It is. All right, so we've got several fan questions that we're going to get to. First one is, what is the plan for the powder blue helmets? And there's a follow-up. Is will they? Well, I'll let you answer that, and then I'll ask the follow-up.
The plan is, you know, the entire month of September, the SEC and each athletic program announced a way to celebrate Mike's life and really remember, you know, what he's given to the SEC, but also he's battled an illness. And so the entire month is Prostate Cancer Awareness Month. They happen to be light blue is their theme color. Our helmets fit in perfect with that. And so for the Vanderbilt game, we're going to wear our powder blue helmets at home. We'll have a sticker honoring Mike Slive. But we also have the ability to wear those helmets, anytime throughout the year if we'd like to. And so this year we are not going to sell the helmets. We're going to keep those helmets because that becomes a second set of helmets that we haven't had before. So if we want to do another color, so let the message boards go crazy already. If we want to do something unique, and whatever that is, I'm not even going to describe what that could be, but if we want to do something later on down the road, we have a second helmet.
We can do it on the fly. We can do it
on the fly.
That's
it's
right.
A quick turnaround. We don't have to wait on a new helmet. So by having that second set, we have the ability to have a lot more flexibility. But the first thing is powder blue, and that's for the Vanderbilt game. But also we have the ability to wear it any other time throughout the year, but in particular the Vanderbilt game.
What was the reasoning for going to natural grass in 16? This has been a very big announcement that we made.
Yeah.
People are excited
Yeah,
about it.
Lots of layers to the decision. One, this turf is really in the last season. We'd have to replace it next year anyway. And so as we look at all this construction. We're redoing our practice fields anyway for 2016. So this year we have grass out there. We're going to redo them next year anyway to make them better. New towers, new lighting, move the fence out, make a little more space for our football team. So we were doing that plan anyway. Then we determined that this is on its last leg. This is the last season of this, so we'd have to replace this anyway. Let's look at grass. Why can't we go grass in Mississippi? We should be able to. We have an unbelievable grounds crew, and we know we can take care of our field. Our soccer field is tremendous. Our baseball field is tremendous. We can do it. And so we really took a step back and say, you know what, it's the right surface to play on. I think anybody that you would ask, say, let's play on grass if it's the right surface. So there's a lot of reasoning into it, but we felt that the timing was right. We'd have to replace anyway. We're redoing our practice fields. Grass is the preferred playing surface, so let's pull the trigger and make it happen now. And people have enjoyed that announcement this week.
No question. What is the plan for the underbelly, the inside, lower level side of the west side of the stadium?
Yeah, that's a side that is probably under the radar, if you will, from an aesthetic standpoint. It's sort of been built upon over the years, and it's sort of tucked away, and it's dark. So, one of the first things that we'll see for this year, there's not a whole lot. This year, it's pretty much the same as it was last year. But for 2016, we're actually going to paint the entire stadium the same color. So right now we have gray and we have brown, and then we have some older colors that are on the west side. We'll paint the stadium the same color for 2016. It'll be that light brown color,
ivory,
kind of that ivory, sort of that Ole
Very
Miss
clean
looking
look,
color, right? That ties in good with our brick. We'll have some new wayfinding signage on the west side, and then we really want to get a good feel. What happens when we expand the north end zone to restrooms and concessions in terms of pressure on the rest of the stadium? Because we'll have, triple the amount on the north end zone. What happens when we move the students to the north end zone? What impact does that have on the west side? What happens when we have a concourse that goes all the way around the stadium?
Right.
We really want to analyze that. We know we have to do something eventually on the west side, but are there pressure points that will be relieved because of overall expansion that may dictate a different plan? And until we have the other things in place, we're really not looking at the east or the west until we get those other things in place. And then we're going to tackle those areas. We have to at some point in time. But we want to see how the rest of the stadium comes together. Exteriorly, we need to tie the stadium in. And interior, we need to do the same thing. And we have some things on the way that I think will accommodate those goals.
Awesome. Before we close, I'm definitely going to go off script one more time here, but this productions crew who are putting this show on, and the videos they've been putting out, and I'm hoping we're going to see a sneak peek of the season. Are we going to see a sneak peek of the season? We are. Emmys, but it's first rate, no question. These guys.
Yeah, they're one. We have people in there that care.
Yep.
So that's where it starts. Is they care about the job that they do, and so that makes the product even better. We've invested a lot in production equipment and facilities. I know we have more to do.
Still more to do.
Micah reminds me of that often. So, and then we just have talent there's just the competency of that group is at an all-time high, and we have more as well. And so, winning Emmy Awards, is a big time deal. The season, I was at an SEC athletic director meeting, and I've had several people from the SEC network and other programs say, hey, we need to do a show like yours. And actually, we're going to see a show very similar to our season show that the network will go around each week. They'll go around to a different campus, and they'll kind of do a behind-the-scenes look. Well, we've set the standard, for what that looks like in our conference, but also around the country. So it's exciting to see, and I love the work that they do, and we're going to keep that area invested heavily and keep growing as well.
There's a new Randy Kennedy video that surfaced this
morning. I heard about that.
Too. Yeah,
I heard he's on the loose again.
He is on the loose today. So thanks a lot for being here.
Absolutely.
Stick around for a quick update on what's happening on campus this weekend, followed by a sneak peek of the first episode of this year's The Season, Ole Miss football. Thanks to Old Venice Pizza Company for presenting the show today.
This week on campus, Coach Mott and the Rebel soccer team look to stay unbeaten as they host Central Florida Friday night at 7 p.m. Saturday, Hugh Freeze and the number 15 Ole Miss football team kick off their 2015 campaign against UT Martin. Kickoff is slated for 11 a.m. and will be broadcast on the SEC Network alternate channel. Limited tickets are still available for the game and can be purchased by visiting OleMissTix.com or calling 888-REB-TKTS. Sunday, the Rebel soccer team heads back out to the pitch when they host Arkansas Little Rock at 5 p.m. Don't forget to join Hugh Freeze and David Kellum every Monday night at Buffalo Wild Wings for Reb Talk, beginning at 7 p.m. New this fall, watch the best college football show in the country every Wednesday at Rafters on the Square. This year, the Emmy Award-winning show The Season will premiere its weekly show on the rooftop of Rafters located on the Oxford Square. Admission is free. Do you have a little Rebel? Then sign them up for the Rebel Kids Club. The Rebel Kids Club is the official youth organization of Ole Miss Athletics. Membership benefits include free tickets to select Ole Miss sporting events, special members-only invitations, and the official Rebel Kids Club t-shirt. For more information or to sign up, visit rebelkidsclub.com. Make sure you download the app for Real Rebels and start earning points and prizes just for going to Ole Miss sporting events. You could be the lucky winner to travel with the football team next year when the Rebels take on Vanderbilt. Download the Rebel Rewards app today by searching Rebel Rewards in the App Store and downloading. And finally, Ole Miss men's and women's hoops tickets are now on sale for the 2015-16 season. Don't miss out on the first year inside the new pavilion at Ole Miss. To purchase your season tickets, visit OleMissTix.com or call 888-REB-TKTS.
Yeah, I can't wait, man. I'm so ready to get into camp. Just being able to say that I'm finally here, like this year right here is like the year. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, this the year where we all is at our highest peak. Like, everybody is pretty much set up in a good position to set the foundation for their future. And it's like, once you in that position, it's like, there's no pressure, because it's not like, it's not like you want to lose, but if you want to win, you're going to do whatever you can to win. So that makes the pressure off you. You see what I'm saying? Treat it like a professional. Treat it like the professionals in the NFL are treated. And if we all do that, we'll be perfectly fine.